being the senior captain, and few players that get to play 3 years in a row in the state tournament. The highs, like scoring that winning goal in overtime against Edina your sophomore year, and losing last night to Edina, and going out winning your last game as a senior. Tell us about that.
Oh, it's been an unbelievable ride at the state tournament. All 9 games have been exciting. Can't thank my teammates enough. It's been a team effort every time we come here. Every game we play, it's been team effort, especially this year with not a lot of skill guys, you know, a lot of grinders on the team. Just to make it back was unbelievable. Losing to Edina last night obviously was tough, but got good character in that room. We bounced back and got the win today, and it's nice to go out with a final game win.
Coach, they meant business today. They took it serious today. Sometimes this game you don't always see the best effort, but your guys were good from start to finish, it looked like.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to the type of character this team had all year. Personally, I didn't expect anything less. I think, you know, the room's full of guys that have been here before, understand that the tournament's not over just because you lose a hockey game. There's still, I mean, how many teams end up 2-1 in a tournament? Not a lot. So we ended up 2-1, and we beat a very good Wayzata team today by a wide margin, and couldn't be prouder of the guys.
Wayzata's not known for giving up too many goals, Coach. How did it feel to come out and get on them right away? Were you at all surprised by that?
Well, what I was really pleased with is we got one early again, and we did last night against Edina, and then we didn't continue that momentum, where today we continued the momentum throughout the game, and it was nice to see that. Got scoring from other places as well, which always helps.
Bill, you had a real jump in your game tonight after you got that first goal.
Yeah, I usually don't score that much, so it's nice to get a couple goals every once in a while. Makes you step up your game. You know, you feel confident after you get one, especially your first shift. So it's a good way to end the season.
Coach, this might be one of your best coaching years. I've watched you for over 20 years.
Well, I approached it the same way I've always approached it, but I will tell you this is one of my favorite teams to coach. They were a different group as far as we had to identify what their roles were going to be. We had to move defensemen up to forward. We had to find the mix that gave them the best opportunity to be successful. And a lot of guys had to buy into their roles, and the whole team had to find, especially the returners, had to find a new way of playing, because we weren't last year's team. We're this year's team, and I think they took a hold of that and accomplished a lot. Did a heck of a job. They finished 3rd. Last year's team finished 5th. So that's pretty good.
Mike, this season you won your 500th career game. What's your reaction to reaching the milestone in your coaching career?
You know, to be real honest with you, I've reflected back on that. The 500th win is awesome, and I've been very fortunate to have great coaching staff, great players, and that's not done on its own. But what I'm most proud of, to be honest with you, as my career winds down, is section playoffs, finals. Our program being 14-1 in section finals. And to me, this tournament, the best team doesn't always win. it's a 3-day tournament, and you can get on a roll and sneak out with the trophy. We did it twice. Where section final games, you have, at least we do, you have 3 days to prepare to get a team ready for a huge game and a huge accomplishment getting to the Minnesota State High School hockey. And section final games in our area are, well, this last one was, Amsoil was sold out, largest high school crowd ever. And I'm sure down here there's great section games. So I take a lot of pride in the fact that if we reach the final, we got a good chance of winning. So that's what I'm most proud of. The 500's great, but those section final games, there's nothing like them.
A little bit of hangover from last night, or just a team that played better than you today?
I mean, yeah, they were good in the first period, I guess, but we were not good, as you could see. But I don't know. It was our first time in something like this, you know, and I'm not making excuses, but, you know, we definitely were not ready to play. We were ready to play, I think, you know, mentally and physically, but we just didn't execute anything on the ice. And, you know, and they're a talented team, obviously. I mean, if you're not ready to play in the third-place game of the state tournament, you're probably going to get shelled. So, yeah, that was it.
Pat, how about some of the things you learned from this experience with your young players, and also yourself being a first-time state tournament coach? Are there some lessons you take out of this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the on-the-ice stuff, I think, comes with kids being able to just be in those positions, but I think the off-the-ice things is what you learn the most from coming down to things like this. You know, if we're fortunate to ever come back here again and we have kids that have played it in before, I think you still have nerves. You know what I mean? But ultimately, the off-the-ice deals with hotel situations and all the media and you know, the schedule that they're on and stuff like that. I think that's stuff that you can learn, and I think you learn that. I actually talked to Coach Randolph. I actually sat next to him at the banquet on Wednesday night, and you know, and that was one of the things he told me, kind of just, you know, try to enjoy this, and you know, I'm sure you're doing a great job with the scheduling and stuff. So it's just, he gave me that advice, and just, you know, I think that's one thing we can definitely learn as a staff and as a program, is just how to continue to keep the guys focused, and which is pretty much impossible, obviously, and that's what I think I learned from this, the biggest thing.
Can what you guys have to go through to get here in that section you're in, can it catch up with you a little bit too? I mean, that's, if you look at the litany of teams, you just win. Yeah, I mean, maybe physically at the end of the weekend, but I don't think it did that much. You know, coming through the grinder of 6AA is you know, is special, winning that section just like every other section, but it also, you know, it does take a lot to get through there. I don't think by any means we were tired last night or today. And was that the difference in the game? I don't think so, but you know, just gotta keep moving forward.
On the ice, where did you see the most improvement or maturity from your team this year from the first days?
Yeah, I mean, I just talked to those guys in there for a couple minutes, and I think our seniors taught. I think a lot of our, you know, a couple of our seniors are, you know, if you want to call them role players, you know, they're not the guys that get all the media at the beginning of the season. They got a lot tonight, or these last couple of days, they played phenomenal. But, you know, I think there's those guys that were what you would call guys that were the heart and soul of your team, and I think that they taught our young guys just what it takes to come together as a unit of 20. And we've got a lot of positive feedback from reporters and you know, and people like that, and it just how we look like a team together a lot, and I think that's a compliment to our boys, just how they act together and how they carry themselves on and off the ice. And I think that's one of the biggest things our young guys are going to learn from this group of seniors, and you know, the older guys, juniors too as well, just how to carry yourself on a daily basis, and you know what it means to compete on a daily basis on and off the ice to get better.
Dingman's been so good for so long. Kind of tough to see it end like this for him.
You know, I got him out of there just because, I mean, he made some big saves. He was fine. He was ready to go. Just our guys weren't playing in front of him, you know, and we did a couple bounces. And by no means did I pull him the way he was playing. It had nothing to do with that. It was just out of 100% respect for the kid and how, you know, he got us here, and we all know that. And, you know, none of the goals that they scored on him, and I don't know how many it was, 4 or 5 or 3 or something like that, were soft goals whatsoever. You know, and he didn't give up. He knew what I was doing when I pulled him, and so he wasn't mad necessarily at me. I don't think he was probably really mad at the situation. And but you know, I didn't want to leave him out there like that for what he's done for these kids and for our program, and so that was it.
With guys like Freitag, Zimmer, Sorensen, the Hood, goalie that saw some time this year, you know, how excited are you for the future of Wayzata hockey? You know,
personnel-wise, I mean, you know, everything changes every single year. Obviously, we're a young team this year, but I'll probably think more about that in a couple of weeks or months or something. But you know, I think what I'm more proud of and happy about than anything is just I think this did a lot for our program in general, and you know, I think we can build. We had such good rally, a big rally behind us, our boys, and our program, from our program and our youth program and in our school and stuff like that. And you know, we're really trying to do our best to get, you know, Wayzata hockey to where we think it should be. You know, not that it was bad in the last couple of years, but you know, we feel like we should be, you know, competing for the Section 6 AA title every single year, and we want that belief to be believed by our young, you know, kids in the program that wear the W on their chest when they're younger, and hope that it's a goal for them to play for us someday. And I think we saw that in the Section 6 final. You know, so many young kids are just fired up, and you know, coming down here, we got so much support, and being able to play on TV in front of, you know, how many thousands of people that watch the state tournament, and you know, I think that was huge. You know, winning that game on Wednesday or Thursday was big, and we got a lot of support. But just being here and carrying ourselves positively and working hard, I think is going to be good for our program going forward.